I don't know. What do you guys think? No better time than now, right? Let me finish filling up this fake jewel. Get my freaking hat on so you guys don't see me naked. Hello, Knitwitches. It's your father cat, father feline. I don't know what I'm doing here. Ooh. Hello, guys. Welcome to the frickin' Cat Dad Show. How are you today? You guys want to talk about propaganda? You bet your ass we'll be talking about Peter Thiel, I'm assuming. I'm pretty sure that's how every day is. Hello, Knitwitches. Goodbye, Nancies, and hello, Knitwitches. We love Knitwitches. We fucking hate them Nancies. Whoops. Well, I was trying to make it do a gradual thing, but you know how it is here. Okay, guys, so yes, I turned the fucking ads on. I'm sorry. But I became a Twitch affiliate on the day that they all kicked me off of TikTok. So Synthara actually told me maybe that was a sign. Maybe that's a sign that you need to grind. Grind a little on Twitch. And I said, let's try it, Synthara. So I turned the fucking thing on. I know, I was torn about it. But when you first turn it on, it sets it to 3 minutes per hour that you have to watch ads if you aren't following or subscribing. So there's following that'll tell you when I'm like going live and shit. And a sub is like a $4.99 thing per month that allows you to watch your favorite streamers or whatever. If you have an Amazon subscription, you get one of those for free. So I use mine for Mike from PA. And then I pay Hassan. But you guys don't have to pay anything. You don't have to sub at all. I'm going to try and get good at timing the ad. I'm going to fuck it up a lot today. Let's be real. But I should get better at it. And I'll time it and I'll just do nonsense for that 1 minute. You know, I'm not going to make you miss anything. And then, yeah, I think that's it. If people donate, like, you can donate additional subs and those will go to people who are following, who aren't subbed, you know. I think it's kind of by random, but yeah. Let's try it. Let's see it, you know. Like, so I forget who said this, but they were very sweet and they said, "You deserve to be paid for your time." And I said, "Frick. I'm trying to accept that." Yes, okay, fine. So, if Amazon's going to offer money, I'm going to take their money, you know. I'm not going to do what they tell me, but I'm going to take their money. So, I'm sure that I'll get kicked off the program real quick anyway. I don't think I've even been accepted yet, so we'll see. But hell yeah, dudes, what are you guys doing? How's your freaking day? I hope it was good. I hope it wasn't scary. I hope it was exhilarating. I hope you had a good time. I hope you're having a good time here. But we're going to talk about this. We're going to see how far we can get in this propaganda, the evolution of propaganda today. And then I have a couple videos for us that I would like to watch. One, well, maybe a couple on Flesh Simulator. It was one of the dudes that I got like tight with on TikTok, you know, a little bit, just chatting here and there. But he is so good at the audio suppression. Like, you know how TikTok uses the AI and shit to like listen to your audio and then suppress the hell out of you? Well, Flesh Simulator here has found every cool way to hide what he's saying with different instruments or noise-making machines or saws and cymbals or whatever, you know? So I was like, dude, this guy's a fucking genius. He's like saying the most insane shit like me, and he has like 100,000 views on every video. I don't know how. I don't know, but I like him. And he did a video on fucking North Fox Island called Serial Killing for Fun and Profit. It's a little series he's doing, so we're going to watch that. And then we're going to watch this video about Admiral Byrd or whatever, the dude who went to Antarctica. And there might be some wackadoodle shit there. I don't know about this one yet, but if anyone's got any other links and shit you guys want to watch today, let's get them in the chat. But without any further ado, I think we'll get started on this. The evolution of propaganda and the origins of Q. What's the update? Okay, cute. Thank you for being so thoughtful. You got this, brother. Rita, 1,000,000%. You read us a movie yesterday. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, hopefully that wasn't annoying. That was actually helpful, but you guys let me know. I'll stop doing that in the future if it's annoying. But yeah, Flesh Simulator rules, right? Okay, here we go. The evolution of propaganda and the origins of Q. Or why the world's gone mad. Truly. The shared sense of truth that we rely upon for the world to work has begun to fracture. People are inhabiting almost entirely separate realities from under siege from a torrent of lies and misinformation, and tensions between the opposing sides are becoming dangerously inflamed. So today we're going to look at the roots of some of the myths that have done so much damage, and hopefully see if there might be a way to build some kind of a bridge. First, we'll outline the historical context for the emergence of conspiracies. Oh yeah, I should have looked and seen if I can... Where's the thing to, like, run an ad? Okay, I'm gonna run it now. We're just gonna jibber jabber for a minute, I think. We're gonna see how this goes. And, farts, it won't let me sub with my Prime membership for a week. Gonna be a long week. What the frick, dude? Why? Because you just added it or something? It was rad, like a story. Oh, okay, good. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, because someone was audio only. And I was like, I don't want them to have to listen to this. It's because I cleaned during Sunday Fun Day. It was so helpful and good. Oh, nice. Okay, good. I mean, I love the Sunday documentary night, right? It's a cool thing for us to do too, I think. Hopefully it'll become like a thing that is, you know, a lot of people look forward to or something. We can just keep watching documentaries. And then I'll get my fucking channel taken away or something, you know? We'll do something fun. All right, 2 seconds left on this shitty ad. Dude, anyway, what was I saying? Fuck ads. And fuck all those people who didn't hear all the good stuff that I just told y'all. No, I'm just kidding. We were just waiting for you guys. But anyway, sorry. Hopefully that ad wasn't too much. Let's go before I have to set a fucking another one. Jeez Louise. Okay, first we'll outline the historical context for the emergence of conspiracies and examine the ways they have been weaponized. We'll explore the role they have played in politics and culture over the years, particularly in the lead up to the 2016 election with movements like Pizzagate. Then we will look at who and what was actually behind the QAnon phenomenon, its connection to COVID conspiracies and the attempt to overturn the election, other assorted operations, and the implications of it all for the future. It's a long, complicated story with many streams and tributaries converging to create the raging waters before us, and like a hydrographer mapping out a river basin, we're going to take the time to try and tell it properly. Part 1, Early Stories. We begin in the Kingdom of Bavaria, now Germany, on the 1st May 1776, when a small group of thinkers founded a group dedicated to the ideals of the Enlightenment. They questioned the traditional powers of the theocratic monarchy, promoted a more rational approach to public affairs, and gave themselves the exciting name of the Illuminati. Oh. No, I just ran the ad, Fairy Flower, and I made sure to not talk about shit while you were gone, okay? I'm gonna do that. I have to run 1 minute ad every hour, okay? And I am going to try and do that myself, and I will stop talking. I will just jibber jabber with chat in between, okay? That's my plan. Cause yeah, I don't want you guys to miss out on anything. Also, I fucking hate when you like get taken away to an ad and then you come back and you're like, wait, what the fuck? So no, we're gonna stop down for the ads, okay? The authorities outlawed them pretty quickly, but a few years later, and a few miles to the west, the French people overthrew their aristocracy in their infamous revolution, and here we need to recognize an important element in all of this, which is which is that in times of turmoil, people tend to take comfort in simple explanations. Chaos is a deeply terrifying concept, and even the most evil of imagined villains is preferable to the rudderless, swirling complexity of existence. So when heads started rolling across the Place de la Concorde, the mysterious Illuminati became a perfect scapegoat. 2 books were written, Proofs of a Conspiracy and Memoirs Illustrating the History of Jacobinson. Wait, I want to show you these birds fighting. Watch how they hit each other with their wings. Of course, now they all go away. Dang it, come back. Dude, it's so funny though. They just take their wings and side flap each other. I'll try it again in a minute when they come back. They're so funny. You fuckers. Which basically claimed that all the unrest was because of this sinister society that secretly controlled the world. Around the same time, the same sort of time, but a little to the east, Russia was experiencing tensions of its own following the partitions of Poland. Many Jewish people came to settle in the western part of the country. An Orthodox convert had issues with his local Jewish community, so building on a deep tradition of anti-Semitism, he started spinning stories of a secret cabal of rabbis pulling the strings of the larger Russian state. These ideas were crystallized in a book called The Protocols of the Elder of Zion, published in 1902, which is a fictional transcript of the minutes of a supposed meeting of some Jewish elders laying out their elaborate plans for world domination. It actually plagiarized large sections of a book called The Dialogue in Hell between Machiavelli and Montesquieu, satirizing Napoleon's megalomania. Business tycoon Henry Ford read it and became such an avid fan that he printed 500,000 copies. At least one of them fell into the hands of a young Austrian called Adolf Hitler, who used the narratives on his way to the Holocaust. That's Henry getting a Nazi medal in the photo above. There he is, Mr. Henry Ford, getting a little Nazi medal. Isn't that great? The Illuminati narrative and the Protocols narrative came together in 1920 when they each made their way into the mind of a young woman called Nesta Webster, who claimed to be a reincarnated spirit of a young socialite from the time of the French Revolution. The crisis in her present time was bloody Bolshevik revolutions, and she published a couple of books that basically blamed the upheaval on the cabal, which was essentially a fusion of the 2 stories. This was arguably the birth of what we know today as the modern conspiracy narrative, and it is the foundation we find at the root of most of this mess. And when we look at the way it has spread and the nature of its impact, it is perhaps best described as a virus, with Nesta serving as patient zero. To understand the way that the virus has been weaponized by who and why, we need to go back to the wake of the Industrial Revolution, when society was wrestling with the question of how to organize itself. Capital versus community. Life had been transformed by inventions like the steam engine and the cotton gin, and the extraction of explosive energy from fossil fuels. All of a sudden, wealth could be created on a previously unimaginable scale. A few made a fortune, in some cases rivaling or even eclipsing the ancient royal dynasties, because they could do whatever they wanted without regard for any social responsibility. There were no child labor laws, no workplace safety regulations, no minimum wage, overtime, or pensions. Just saw undiluted. Wait, what is a hype train? What the fuck? You have limited time to earn exclusive emotes. What? Dude, we're gonna get exclusive emotes? I don't know what a hype train is, but it's hype time. Dude, I made a emote. I don't know if it got accepted yet, but it's a knitted anus one. And I think you look and see where the emotes are. See if you could see it. I think if it needs like a name, it's called CatDad39. I think. Or knitted anus is what I put the code word to be, so that you should be able to type it maybe. Nope. But it wasn't approved when I looked 20 minutes before this, so it might not be approved yet. So hopefully tomorrow. But we can have custom emotes now too. That was really what put it over the edge for me to sign up to be an affiliate. The emotes. Dude. I think we get 5 at least. Well, 4 now because I made one. Anyway, a few made a because they could do whatever what they wanted without regard for any social responsibility. There were no child labor laws, no workplace safety regulations, no minimum wage, overtime, or pensions. Just raw, undiluted, free market Darwinian capitalism, baby. That's that raw shit. Ooh, yeah, that raw stuff. Naturally, society continued to evolve in response. It's a wild world, but by working together and helping each other for the good of the team, humans have been able to accomplish incredible things. We thrive as a social species. Care for the community is one of the greatest assets. Ultimately, we are strings of DNA, trying to get enough energy to replicate the code before we die. That's the game of life that every organism on the planet is playing, including humans. Money is just a proxy for energy. Each new generation has slight variations, either physically like a body modification or conceptually like a reproductive strategy or an economic system. These variations either help or hinder the chances of making the copy. The ones that survive do, and the ones that die don't. Simple. Selfishly exploiting people and the planet is one strategy, which, to be fair, has worked quite well for a few of these individuals, and looking after our neighbors is another. Yeah, dude, it has worked really well for a couple of those individuals and their children, hasn't it? Yeah. Not really anyone else, though. Progressivism emerged to ameliorate that savage state as a check on the almighty power of these modern oligarchs. Labor and environmental laws were introduced to protect people and the planet from the perils of predatory profit seekers. Governments delivered large-scale public infrastructure projects that the private sector was unfit to provide. Free enterprise can be a great tool, but it doesn't deliver everything that we need, and making profit maximization and the be-all and end-all of human endeavor is a recipe for disaster. Dude, all articles should have pictures in them. Truly. The capitalists naturally saw all this as a threat. In 1933, a group of wealthy, gold-loving businessmen actually tried to overthrow the U.S. government of FDR and install a fascist military dictatorship. Who would have done that? Who did that? Peter Thiel? Or probably his ancestors. Probably his uncle or something. We'll find out. They approached a highly decorated retired general to lead it, who was honorable enough to basically play along until he knew as much as he could, then go to Congress and blow the whistle. No one really got in trouble, though. There's an actual conspiracy there for you. Yeah, and then everyone leaves out the part 2 where then they did that coup just a few years later. They just did it slower. They were like, the Smedley Butler thing didn't work. Can you send a 14-year-old little boy to Prescott Bush and let him be a spy and take over the entire country? That would be awesome. When the vicissitudes when the vicissitudes of the stock market led to the Great Depression of 1930. Hold on, we got to do word learning. Vicissitude. A change of circumstances or fortune, typically one that is unwelcome or pleasant.
Vicissitude.
We got it, boys. Anyway. When the vicissitudes of the stock market led to the Great Depression of 1930, the government stepped in with a collection of initiatives known as the New Deal, providing programs to ease the suffering and support the people. They have been described as a band-aid deployed to prop up the failures of neoliberalism, placate the working class, and prevent a full-scale revolution. But they were close enough to the communist conspiracy the capitalists had been whining about that it became the catalyst for them to mobilize around, setting their activism in motion along a trajectory it still follows today. Amen. In the aftermath of World War... And yeah, dude, I totally agree. The New Deal provided providing programs to ease the suffering and support. They have since been described as a band-aid deployed to prop up the failures of neoliberalism, placate the working class. That's all fucking true, bro. This just prevented a full-scale revolution then. And it's probably something similar to what they'll do when they realize that we're never going to shut up about all this shit, you know? Oh, apparently it was a freaking hype train success. So good job, Knitwitches. In the aftermath of World War II, some countries came together to form the United States as a way to work together on things that affect the whole earth. The United Nations. Are we a species, or are we simply a series of separate nation states? If we are a species, should we not try to have some kind of species-level form of government? Things happen between countries. How are we to regulate that? Whose responsibility is it, for example, to protect endangered species of migratory birds? Surely the world needs some kind of international body. And just as surely the capitalists were going to complain about it. They'd spend enough money trying to control their own government. Thank you very much. They didn't need to add some global thing into the mix. So they made it their mission to undermine its legitimacy however they could. And as you may be able to guess, the conspiracy narrative was going to have a big role in play in accomplishing that. One beneficiary of the New Deal initiatives was a broke young con man by the name of Robert Lefebvre. After helping his father run scams on housewives in the rural Midwest, he was staring down the barrel of destitution until a Minneapolis radio station hired him under the WPA program. Instead of appreciating the benefits of social welfare, he saw it as further evidence of the communist conspiracy his father had told him about, and used it to launch his career as a propagandist. Dude, everyone who makes decisions and does anything in America is this. A fucking con man. It's all just scams. America is the great nation of scams. The American dream is to be able to scam your neighbors. You understand? That's fucked. In 1936, he discovered and joined a sensational new cult called I.M. that described Unionists as evil black magicians and openly called for the annihilation of President Roosevelt with a distinctly Nazi-esque fervor. Well, I wonder if it was just the Nazis. Nazi-esque fervor in the time of Nazis? Maybe it was Nazis. Led by a shady mining engineer. Oh, God. A mining engineer? You know he's a Nazi. Oh, let me guess. Him and his oil baron friend and what other... his formerly slave-owning ancestors and all that. It's all the same fucking people. They own mines, they own oil, and they're assholes. And they're rich. And their families used to do slave trading. That's what it always is. Right? Because money begets money. If you have money, it's because you used to have money. Normally. And if you used to have money, a lot of it, it's usually from bad shit. Like slave trading. That's how the Bushes got a lot of their money. Seems like how the Rothschilds got their money. I'm pretty sure everyone gets their money from slavery. Except for us. We are the slaves. Normal people are. Towards the end... Oh, God. Ugh. No, we don't want to look at Joseph McCarthy. This dude is like the biggest disgrace to Wisconsin. I mean, there's tons of disgraces to Wisconsin, but... I'm from Wisconsin. See? That's upside down, but that's Wisconsin. And that boy is a disgrace. Towards the end of the 40s, we come to a former litigator and Marine turned politician called Joe McCarthy, who had been voted worst person in the U.S. Senate after defending Nazi war criminals charged with massacring American soldiers. In 1950, he came out swinging and held up a piece of paper with the names of 57 people in the State Department he said were agents of the enemy, who at the time were commies of this Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. It was a complete fabrication, but it deployed a panic that poisoned the discourse with devastating effect. Dude, do you guys see this? This sounds like similar to something that happened in our lives. Remember, we were cruising at a nice little clip. We were going, it's Peter Thiel, it's Peter Thiel, it's Peter Thiel. He's got the Tesla howitzer, he's in Antarctica. And then they chopped us down by calling us feds and then deleting our account, making us disappear. Dude, today is like when I feel like a bunch of people are finally realizing that I got the boot. I got like 5 messages on YouTube this morning going, bro, I just realized that where the fuck are you on TikTok? But this is how they do it. It's just another example. More evidence of them just using the same tactics always. Like, just fucking say it. Just be out here and be like, yeah, I'm a faker leftist and I want Cat Dad to go away. Joe McCarthy, no fucking, he's just a coward. They're all cowards. All these alt-right people. They just have the power of the state behind them. They've got the power of the white supremacist TikTok behind them. Or the white supremacist Congress behind them. It's all the same. But it deployed a panic that poisoned the discourse with devastating effect. A red terror gripped the country, and it's never been fully loosened since. Yeah, there's gonna be a red Hamas terror coming soon, I'm sure, if history's taught us anything, you know. Hearings were held in which basically anything progressive could be framed as communist and thereby an un-American act of treason. But somehow supporting and doing exclusively what Israel, a different country from America, doing whatever they want somehow is not being a traitor. That's not treason. To give, how much money did they just give to Israel and fucking Taiwan and fucking Ukraine? $90 billion? Is that what it was? Where are they getting this money? Where is the money coming from? Did you say that they could give $90 billion to Ukraine and Israel? I hope not, dude. I'll be mad if I find out one of y'all said it was okay, because I feel like I didn't say that. Where are they getting this directive to give $90 billion away? They could give $90 billion away to Americans. I'd be fine with that. But I feel like Ukraine and Israel are 2 different countries than America. Taiwan is a 3rd different country. They're all not America, right? Or is it just me? I think I'm dumb. I'm the idiot. Never mind. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to derail. Anyway, a publisher named Raymond C. Hoyles owned a media network called Freedom Newspapers, which he used to argue against things like public schools, public parks, and joining the UN. In 1956, he hired Lefebvre to write for his paper, the Colorado Gazette, and together they set up an outfit called the Freedom School. Dude, you know, with a name like that, they're up to some mischief, and they hate immigrants, I'm sure. Recruiting militant and anti-unionist Frank Chodorov as a lead instructor, this school would serve as the breeding ground for their ideas, instilling their extreme anti-democratic ideology into budding power brokers. Oh, is it 80 million or 80 billion? Dude, that's such an insane number. It's such a... Just give them $1 trillion. Who cares? Give all of us $1 trillion. It's just as real if you gave us $1,000. Do you remember when they sent one check during COVID? What was it? $300? Or no, they sent one that was $700. Was it even that much? And then everyone was like, oh, look at all these lazy Americans living their freaking lives off of these COVID off of all these COVID check. Oh. 1958, Merwin developed an idea for a new group. He enlisted a retired candy salesman and lobbyist for the National Manufacturers Association called Robert Welch Jr., who got 12th of his who got 12 of his rich mates together and launched the now iconic John Birch Society. Dude, rich people should not be leading anything. And as you can see, they've been the only people leading anything for the last several hundred years. You guys know how work goes, where you like suggest something to your boss, like, hey, wouldn't it make more sense to do this? And then they always don't do it because they just want to make their life easier or whatever. It's like the entire government is that situation, and we have not in 100 years been able to get them to do anything for us. Like that. It's so much worse than we even like realize, I think. Like, it's so entrenched. It's so like common. Like, it's just commonplace at this point, you know? It's just like assumed. It's just like, yeah, our government's totally corrupt and we just have to keep giving them more of our money every year. Like, what are we going to do about it? I don't know. Bitch about it until they disappear. That's what I think. They picked up the spear of Nesta's conspiracy narrative, tipped it with the poison of anti-communist sentiment left by McCarthy, and turbocharged it all for their American audience. Any progressive policies which impinged on their power to do whatever they wanted, such as civil rights, public projects, or international cooperation, became part of a sinister globalist plot by a secret cabal of evil communists. So you guys know that this is true, right? Because they said it, and basically you know it's true because if you just change the word communists to Nazis, and, you know, like, anytime that they say that Jewish people are taking over the world, if you replace Jewish people or communists with the word Nazis, everything they say is 100% correct, right? So, any progressive policies which impinged on their power to do whatever they wanted, such as civil rights, public projects, or international cooperation, became part of a sinister globalist plot by a secret cabal of evil Nancies, right? It makes sense. There, boom. 100%. This is what they always do, right? They always just say what they're doing. Always. Forever. Get us out of the United Nations, the John Birch Society. Dude. Look, they even had a fucking octopus. The UN. Get us out of the UN. Say, uncle. Let's get the United Nations out of the United States out of the United Nations. Martin Luther King at a communist training school. But yeah, guys, nothing has changed with these people. Nothing ever changes with them. The J.B.s were rabid and relentless in their quest to impact the socio-political conversation and establish the foundation of a factory that pollutes the world to this day. They built an unprecedentedly powerful political manipulation machine which began aggressively disseminating disinformation through pamphlets and other paraphernalia. They published a magazine presumptuously entitled American Opinion, held networking dinners, and encouraged their members to engage in activism, telling them to join your local PTA, get your conservative friends to do likewise, and go to work and take it over. Dude, they're so boring. It's just always the same. They just dominance, take over everything. Colonize. Get rid of all non-white people. Those envelopes contain the most sophisticated bioweapon the world had ever seen, the conspiracy narrative virus. Without so much as a physical form, it enters the host through the eyes or ears to influence their thoughts and hence affect their actions. And like all effective viruses that included compelling the host to spread it, by the 1960s, the J.B.s counted over 100,000 members, and the cultural landscape was well and truly infected. Dude, it's so much. That's so many people. So fast. Dude. Man, it would be sweet, honestly, to have some of that oil money, right? You could do a lot with that oil money. I'm seeing evidence of it just from reading things, you know? To the credit of the American public, however, when it came to elections, JBS candidates never really made it past the primaries. Oh, that's good. But the thing about the virus is that it can spread regardless. Networks like the World Anti-Communist League and American Liberty League and the Council for National Policy began to emerge and organize. And people like Jack Singlaub and Phyllis Schlafly, Pat Buchanan, Jerry Falwell, and Roger Ailes, and many, many more were able to draw upon elements of its energy to benefit their own anti-progressive political crusades. The tragic irony, of course, is that America was so far from communist that whenever a developing country so much as looked like they were even thinking about turning a little bit left, or if they had some profitable resources that the capitalists wanted, Uncle Sam would swoop in to crush them by any means, toppling democratically elected leaders with devastating effect, destabilizing entire regions and leading to the deaths of tens of millions of people. Again, plenty of actual conspiracies there for you. Dude, Jakarta Method, great book. Vincent Bevins, he just released a new book too that I need to get. But yeah, dude, like they will coup whoever they want, and that's what they do. Right now they're very interested in taking what is it, Chile? Is that place in Chile that they keep lasering like they did Lahaina? Like they're going to do horrible stuff there until they're able to take over. Like, they're going to fund right-wing paramilitaries and burn down their forest until they have some psychopath that works for them, and then they're going to move on, and we're all going to move on, and no one's going to say anything about that one dude that was in a helicopter a couple weeks ago who died there. Or they're not going to say anything about the fact that, like, America fucking will just toss their elections out if they don't like the outcome, you know? And none of us will do anything because what the fuck can we do, right? What can we do against the frickin' Koch brothers? That's what they say. That's what they say to us. What are you going to do, you little worm? That's what they're telling all the Knitwitches all the time. You're a little worm, and I'm going to frickin' space laser Lahaina as many times as I want. He made one of the founding members of the John Birch Society was a chemical engineer called Fred Koch. I didn't know that Koch was a chemical engineer. Dude, there's so many bad chemistry people. Peter Thiel's dad was a chemist, supposedly. He made his fortune mining and refining petroleum products, including for Hitler and Stalin. Yeah, dude, the Koch brothers, I think with the Bushes too, they were really good at helping fund Hitler. They loved it. They set up oil refining things there. I think that America told them, you know how we aren't supposed to be trading and stuff with Russia right now because we put sanctions on them? I think we did that to Germany. And the Koch brothers the Koch brothers' father still just kept working with Germany. Same with Prescott Bush. Dude, I think there was a trial and shit where they literally were like, dude, you're a traitor. And then nothing happened. They killed FDR and then they moved on. Oh, his sons Charles and David, the now infamous Koch brothers, followed him into the family business, selling as much oil and coal and gas as they possibly could, and manipulating the public into thinking that any attempts to regulate them were part of a dastardly globalist agenda. Charles attended Lefebvre's Freedom School, where he developed the foundation of the political and economic ideologies that would shape his life and, by extension, the world. So isn't it so interesting, too, that they're always like, the globalists are coming to take over everything. Meanwhile, what are they? They're the globalists. They are literally a bunch of oil money people who get to go into different countries like Germany and Russia or wherever the fuck they want to go. Wherever there's money, they just get to go and set up shop there. Like, they are the fucking globalists. It's always just, you're doing what I'm doing. That's what I'm going to say. You're doing the New World Order. Like, dude, no, you guys are the ones talking about the New World Order. Like, I definitely think that we should have like a people's coalition, a worldwide one. You know, literally, if TikTok was made, or, you know, they deleted the algorithm, the white Suprema pizza algorithm that they currently have, and they made it so that we could all communicate with each other like it used to be. Like, dude, you used to be able to like talk to people from China and shit there. Now it's just, you're just stuck with Americans, and then especially if you're sassy and you talk about things on the left, you get stuck with just people on the left into your little corralled pen, you know? But you could literally have a coalition of people deciding how to protect the earth and what is important to us on TikTok, in my opinion. Like, a government would be so easy to just run on TikTok. Add a bunch of polls every like 6 months. Be like, yo, dude, smash the poll on what you want to fund. We're gonna do high-speed rail throughout America for the next 4 years. Are you guys cool with that? And then everyone's like, yeah. And then we get rid of all the BS. We don't need any BS. Make everything just mob rule, essentially. But also tons of education. So much education. Like, we need so much fucking education. But yeah, dude, these are the globalists. They are the fucking globalists. George W. Bush is literally, or HW is literally the guy who's like, we need to do the New World Order. New World Order. I'm gonna take over the world with a bunch of Hitler's friends. In the latter half of the 20th century, scientists began to notice that burning all these fossil fuels was increasing the concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, trapping more heat and affecting climatological systems. That they recommended the governments collectively take action and try to burn less fossil fuels, and maybe try and spill less of them while they're at it too. And I'm sure the Koch brothers said, why? Come on. I didn't mean to spill oil. I didn't mean to do the Exxon Valdez. Please, let me have my oil ships. Please. To the people who made money by selling fossil fuels, this was yet another unacceptable threat to their sacred profits. Dude, and it's not a lie. Like, it's not even an exaggeration. I truly think the only thing these people worship is money. They're obsessed. It's a deity to them. Mormons, Catholics, look at the Pope. The Pope is wearing gold robes and fucking, dude, let me show you this John Hankey email. Another thing that I didn't tell you guys, John Hankey, if you guys don't have like older people who email you regularly, you wouldn't know that older people are fucking way into chain letters and like chain emails, right? I kind of love it. So John Hankey added me to his chain, his like whenever he sends a joke to his buds, I'm on it. So check this out. John said, Pope Francis wearing a fabulous vintage chiffon lined Dior gold lame gown over a silk Vera Wang Empire waist tulle cocktail dress, accessorized with a 3-foot House of Whoville hat and Judy Garland's Wizard of Oz ruby slippers, on his way to tell us it's wrong to be gay. It's so true, right? Like, these people worship, what color is his robe? Gold. I think it's also interesting that his ruby slippers, do you guys know about the red shoe thing? The red shoe club or whatever? If you don't, look it up. And then look at them shoes. Why does he have these red ass shoes? Are they made out of children? I need to know. I'm gonna need to know, Mr. Pope. yeah, dude. Anyway, so, and then, dude, we know the Mormons only worship gold too. All they care about is money. It's literally the most important thing to them. If you don't tithe 10% of your money every week, you are not allowed to go to the fucking Mormo temple. Every week. If you miss a payment, if you miss a payment to your church, you're not allowed to go to church anymore. Isn't that odd? I thought church was for everyone, but nope. It's just for the people who can afford it, you dinguses. But yeah, I love getting chain letters from my boy, the Hank, the real Hanks, John Hankey. So they created and called on lobbyist groups to basically bribe or otherwise persuade the politicians to legislate in their favor. Dude, every time they have, what is it, COP, the climate, COP, COPP. Every year they have like their big climate thing, and who's sponsoring it? Coca-Cola. I'm sorry, we're here to talk about the fact that your bottles are everywhere. Did you guys know too that what was it, Squirt or 7-Up or something changed the color of their bottle because it was so obvious which one was, like, if you're looking at a picture of trash, you can tell which one is I think Sprite, because it stands out. Every other one is just like clear and that one's green. Yeah, it's a conference of the parties for sure. Yeah, that's what it is. COP. But, it's always sponsored by the biggest polluters. And that's because it's all just it's a show. It's a performance for us so that we think that they're doing something. But really, I bet that they're just getting, I'm sure that all the people who, are serviced by Jeffrey Epstein are getting serviced by Peter Thiel now when they go to these. That's all it is. It's the same thing. They just go, pretend like they're talking about climate, and then do their devious things with children, I'm sure. Because they're obsessed, dude. That's all they think about. All they talk about. Ever. It's all they ever do. Think about that, dude. They are people who don't have a job. They don't have a job. They have no hobbies because they're lame. They're the most boring people. Their only hobby is hurting the world for Lucifer and hurting individual people for themselves. That's pretty much it. One feature of democracy, however, at least in theory, is that when a politician deviates too far from the will of the people will simply vote them out. The challenge, therefore, is to control the will of the people, persuade them to oppose taking any action, and they will vote accordingly. So these rich and powerful elites fired up the propaganda factory that D.U.M.B.s had generously established and went to work. They set up think tanks to cast doubt on the science and broadcast the results through their sprawling network of media platforms. They took basic misunderstandings of complex climatology and dressed them up with conspiracy narrative to give them legs. The effect was a complete rewiring of the public perception of not just climate science or even science in general, but progressivism as a whole, as a whole political philosophy. Right, dude? These are the people who are guilty of all the shit that Max was talking about, that everyone is so confused because they've put so many lies out there, It's these people doing it. For the most part. It's people like, I forget what the company's name is, but, it's like the Heritage Foundation and all these other, the Ford Foundation, all these fake-ass, shitty, right-leaning think tanks that are literally just here to try and confuse people. They get a group of 100 people and get them to come in and be like, hey, what's the better way to attack this trans person? Should I say that they, and then that's how they figured out how to do the whole Dylan Mulvaney thing. They just sit there and pretend it's like an experiment before you release it to the masses, You sit there and you go, is this one more depraved than this one? And then the dummies who still do these like think tank groups, because they're the dumbest of dumb people. Only dum-dums go and do this shit. And they're like, no, I think you should make fun of their, their wiener, whether or not it got cut off or put on. because that's weird to me. I don't know. But yeah, these think tanks and everyone who runs them and owns them, they are war criminals. They are traitors to all humanity. They literally, their whole thing is to figure out how to deceive. That's the entire directive from them. So they're probably Mormon, because that's the Mormon, the Mormon shtick too. Actually, all these religious people, it's just, the whole shtick is to lie for power. And R-wording people, apparently. And children, mostly. Anyway, this is the head of the industrial propaganda pipeline, which is pumping the toxic disinformation that's dividing us today. This is the origin of modern mutation of the virus, and where most of the animus for the contemporary conspiracy movement comes from. The climate has always changed. Humans couldn't possibly contribute to it. That's the international scientists lying to control us. The first one's true, but if anyone tries to tell you the second two, as they almost certainly will, it means their media diet has been contaminated by this factory at some point. They are lies, and pretty obvious ones when you think about it. Yeah. But, once they put out a lie, it takes 10 times the amount of work to put the lie away, Okay, I think that's good for today. We read 2 chapters. I don't want to bore everyone to death, We'll jump back in this tomorrow. You guys ready to watch some Flesh Simulator? And before that, I'll run this dumb ad, and then we'll move on from that. Okay, ready, guys? I'm going to run the ad. Are you ready? I'm going to do it. Here it comes. And I'm going to start the Flesh Simulator video as soon as I start this ad, okay? Sorry. No, I'm just kidding. We'll wait for you. Bye. But yeah, dudes. Yeah, this is going to be fun. North Fox Island. We'll just give them their minute. This is a minute for me, too, to breathe. The land of grifters, cults, and scam. Yeah, dude. The great grifter nation, for sure. Finally made it onto a stream that's fucking go. Sorry to interrupt. No, it's okay, Dave. I'm glad you made it, too. Yeah, this has been really fun. I really like the live interaction and stuff. And having, it's kind of cool for you guys to help lead the way, too, and give me information that I'm missing as I'm saying it and stuff like that, So I think it's very cool, too. I used to live in Wisconsin, too. 608. Hell yeah, bro. I was 212. Then 262. Noise. Helping us transition to a new platform. The transactions have been real but exciting. All right. Oh, I think my ad people are you ad people back? Sorry about that. You ready for some Flesh Sim? I am.
E equals M.
Oh, I just got a fucking ad. Oh, it's because I'm on my wrong account. I do pay for YouTube Premium because I fucking hate the ads.
What about?
But we're ethical streamers. We're gonna watch. We're gonna watch the boys.
Yes.
We're not
Flesh Simulators
We're connectivity experts.
ad.
Optimum, where local is big time.
Great ad, Flesh Sim.
The gods have spoken. You need a
2
new,
ads?
clean, heavenly body wash.
All right,
with
that's too much.
Okay,
Here we go.
So following one of my more recent videos, Serial Killing for Fun and Profit, I received a handful of very interesting Instagram DMs. See, while laying out that video, I felt like the connection between Pasky and Bonacci on the basis of Bonacci's testimony.
Wait, you got a Navy ad that said "Get Real XP"? Bro, that shit should be criminal. Oh, man. Bro. Dude, I need to screen record one of those sometime. I want to see that. Yeah, dude, I mean, that's been their whole plan. You guys know that, like, the military is very involved in games, right? Like, that's why the only games that we're allowed to see anymore are just blow people's heads off games. Or if you're scrolling through TikTok, you ever get that ad for the video game or the phone game, that's just a person machine gunning watermelons to death? You guys think that has anything to do with Palestine? I don't know. That would be pretty disgusting if it did have something to do with Palestine. It must just be a coincidence, right? But yeah, dude, the military like really likes to recruit from Game Boys. They love the gamer boys. And that, Call of Duty and stuff is propaganda. Like, I don't think it's normal for us to be shooting little pieces of lead into each other's heads, but it's definitely way easier to make it feel normal if every game you play is you putting a little piece of lead in everyone's head and then showing that, Like, I'm not a Puritan. I'm not saying, like, I love these games too. I'm just saying, like, maybe every game doesn't have to be Call of Duty, Like, we could use we could get some artistic, some cute games again. We don't just need Call of Duty. It's getting so boring. But that's monopoly capitalism for you, baby, and techno-fascism. Woo!
Testimony was one of the weaker links overall. However, it appears as if I may have been on the right track regardless, because someone advised me to look into Bonacci's parents. He was born to Marilyn May and John Angelo Bonacci. His parents divorced, and his mother remarried twice shortly thereafter, eventually to a man by the name of Jack McCoy. Their son, Paul Bonacci's stepbrother, was Timothy McCoy, aka John Wayne Gacy's first victim. Tim McCoy wound up being picked up by Gacy on his way to visit his father in... we will now turn our attention to the state of Michigan.
Dude, you know what was going on in Omaha? Nothing good. Where's my book? So I think a lot of people are kind of coming to this conclusion, but all these like serial killers and shit in the 60s, 70s, 80s and stuff, they're all kind of just related, or a lot of them are connected with each other to the P-word circles, Like John Wayne Gacy, I had heard maybe was like involved with the people at Fox River? North Fox Island, I mean. And dude, part of that like makes sense to me now. Like all these serial killers, what if they're like, I don't know, state sanctioned? No, maybe not that, but we'll see. Everything is connected, So
Trope of unspeakable actions being committed by the ultra-rich on private islands has become mainstream recently due to, However, before there was Little St. James...
You just said Parappa the Rapper? Oh, man. Dude, me and my friends, I think that was like the first game that we had on PlayStation. Did it come with the PlayStation? I forget. Obsessed, dude. I bet I could still do like the hardest one. I played that game so much. It's literally just a rapper, and you just have to... It's like Dance Dance Revolution, but with a controller. That's it. It's awesome.
There was actually another pedophile island.
Japan.
Michigan's north...
Dude, that was good. Flesh Sim is funny. He's a very funny dude. Japan.
Fox Island. Before we dive into this, I just want to credit Simon Dovey and his excellent book, Eye of the Chicken Hawk. It was an incredibly valuable resource with regards to helping structure this video in particular. It's one of the most disturbing books I've ever read. Each chapter is somehow darker than the last. However, if you're interested in learning more about this spiderweb of a topic, I highly recommend picking up the book. It contains far more information on the subject than I could possibly hope to cover in a video. Alright, to begin, let's go back to one of the unanswered questions from the Project Delta video. Oh, also, if you haven't seen that one yet, start there. This video is more like a direct continuation of that one. It turns out there's an answer to the question raised by the connections to New Orleans.
Yeah, dude. Miss Gnomer said lots of studios get operating funds by making war games for the DoD. Yeah, dude. And you know what? You know what else is fucked up that I never thought about until I was in the film industry was that if you want to make like a fucking airplane, like a Navy plane or something, you can get them for free, but guess what? The State Department has to sign off on your fucking script and stuff. So, they offer you, like, even in New York, or like New York, if you're filming and stuff, the police, all that stuff, if you request it, it's free, so they're like enticing people to film and stuff by providing these things, but then you have to hand over a part of the control, so that's another way that they do this, because they're taking huge lines out of people's budgets, and they're like, oh yeah, let's make a whole fucking fighter jet movie or whatever, so it gives people a incentive to do these kind of war movies and stuff. Besides the fact that all of the people who own these studios are also the same people making the decisions and stuff, so it's just money on top of money.
Found by the FBI FOIA files on Philip Paskey, Boy Scout Troop 137. In 1976, New Orleans police arrested 2 men by the names of Richard Halverson and Raymond Woodall, following an anonymous tip. Upon interrogation, the pair revealed the situation that they were in. 2 years earlier, in 1974, they had started a Boy Scout troop with the intent of using it as a front to produce,
Yeah, dude, this film is not yet rated. Dude, that is literally how everything is run. It's a black box where only a couple people get to make all the decisions, and there's no transparency whatsoever, and it's literally just, it's like high school. It's a club. It's a kid. It's a, it's just a social club, and they just get to make decisions. It's a secret society, and we have no recourse. We have nothing that we can say or do to get them to change their minds, and they don't have to tell us why they came to their decision. That's pretty much how everything works.
Given the topic of this series/miniseries, I keep having to talk around using a pair of words, one beginning with C and one beginning with P, that the platform sure doesn't like when you put next to each other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the term chicken photography, which is a little bit letter of the law,
Yeah, it's bad. I don't like talking about it either. But Seth Green says that P-words call themselves chicken lovers.
It's the state of things online. Anyways, the pair set up a Boy Scout troop in 1974 with the intent of using it as a front to produce chicken photography. The pair made each other's acquaintance via both being employed as maintenance workers at the Adelphi Academy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we don't even know, like, we literally aren't allowed to know who is on the MPAA, the people who censor films. Yeah, we don't even know who the fuck it is. Dude, I can tell you right now, it's some asshole from the Catholic Church, some asshole from Evangelical Church, some asshole, and then 6 assholes from iWord, and then, it's just a bunch of religious zealots, and then 25 P-words. So that's who gets to decide whether or not a movie is okay for you to watch. It's just a bunch of Zionists.
Private school in Florida. This school was also formerly partly owned by a guy named Peter Bradford, who was another one of the 10 people eventually arrested by the New Orleans Police Department. Now, in addition, Troop 137 was explicitly tied to Project Delta. After being arrested, Raymond Woodall's house was searched, and John Norman's contact info was found in his possession. The contact information of Woodall himself would later be found in Norman's possession. The New Orleans Police Department would also send a message to the Chicago Police Department mentioning Woodall and Halverson as acquaintances of Norman, warning them of chicken men in their area, attempting to set up a large-scale operation. All right, now let's take a look back at something else covered in the Project Delta video. If you recall, while in prison, John Norman began the publication of a pornographic newsletter called Hermes. This was operated by Norman with the help of Philip Paskey and was...
Oh shit. I guess I should have watched part 1 first. I just wanted to watch about North Fox Island, but...
was published by an operation called F&F Distributors. Oh well, in addition to Norman and Paskey, Hermes also involved an editor by the name of David Byrd. Well, in May of 1977, Byrd was raided following information discovered while investigating a different part of this horrible web. A partial client list was seized, and for once, some of them were actually investigated and followed up on, including a successful Chicago area dentist by the name of Dr. Lloyd Lang. Lang wound up being arrested on suspicion of filming the sexual assault of an underage male by 2 men by the names of David Byrd and John Bell. A search of his property turned up a video camera and film reels of the assault that Lang was suspected of filming, as well as 3 50-foot reels marked John Bell Michigan Trip. This John Bell, it would turn out, was involved as a director in a charitable organization in Michigan, known as Brother Paul's Children's Mission.
There it is.
Back in Michigan, another man with a connection to Brother Paul's turned up approximately...
Dude, look at all... There's Francis Sheldon. Dude, that's the thing. All these P words know each other, and they are all interlinked. Interlinked.
A year earlier. Gerald Richards was a gym teacher slash magician slash masseuse slash adult bookstore employee, who also happened to be the president of Brother Paul's. After being arrested with an envelope full of chicken photography and a suspiciously vague letter to someone named Frank Sheldon specifying, like, oh yeah, get rid of your stuff, watch your mail, he agreed to testify about the operation in exchange for being able to plead down to lesser charges regarding an ongoing molestation case.
What's going on with what? Oh, you're just saying what's going on, like, hey? Or are you confused?
He explained that he was involved
And if you're saying what's going on, like, hey, nothing, buddy. What's going on with you?
in a ring producing chicken photography alongside a man named Francis Sheldon.
There he is.
The ring was based out of the nearby uninhabited North Fox Island, which Sheldon owned. The boys would get
Guys, I'm telling you right now, the landing strip at North Fox Island, still there. Still there to this day. Don't worry, they stopped doing chicken photography of little boys on North Fox Island decades ago, but the landing strip is still maintained diligently. It is always nice. They got the mower out there. It's probably just an automatic mower, There's no one there. But just in case anyone ever needs an emergency landing strip, Just what if someone's flying over Lake Michigan and they're like, frick, my plane's gonna die. I gotta fly to that tiny little island. If they don't keep it manicured, how's anyone ever gonna land there in an emergency situation? Or they still are just doing the ring. I'm not sure which one.
flown in on a private plane, landing on an airstrip Sheldon had paid to have constructed. The summer camp, Brother Paul's children's mission, was simply a front to provide a plausible explanation if people started to look into things. Richard then went on to provide some information on Sheldon himself.
Dude, JonBenét's, I hope that Flesh Sim gets to this. JonBenet Ramsey's father, his father, at the time this was going on, was the person in charge of monitoring the radar for the Navy in that area. In that whole Lake Michigan area, like Michigan, upper peninsula of Michigan, the lower Wisconsin, and Lake Michigan, JonBenet Ramsey's grandpa was in charge of monitoring that. And then JonBenet Ramsey's father also, I'm pretty sure, moved to Atlanta just for the two or 3 years that the Atlanta child killings were happening. But yeah, people have always suspected that like JonBenet Ramsey's family seems to me to be one of these like P-word families. They're always like military, rich, probably a Nancy even if I had a bet. If I was a betting man. He was like super tapped into like the I think the .com boom and stuff. He's like JonBenet Ramsey's dad is super, super loaded. And he comes from one of these P-word families. And her grandpa, JonBenet Ramsey's father, was monitoring the airways for these P-words to protect them. Yeah.
Francis Duffield Sheldon was a notable local figure, being the multimillionaire heir of an industrialist family. Sheldon was educated at Millbrook and then went on to Yale, following the legacy of his father, Henry Sheldon. And
Yale? You've said enough. You've said enough, Flesh Sim. We know he's guilty. If he went to Yale, he's guilty as fuck.
And his grandfather, Alan Sheldon. So I couldn't find any information about his or his father's specific experience at Yale. Alan Sheldon, though...
Yeah, Bun, we just read through the first 2 chapters of this... propaganda history thing. Here, I'll drop this in the chat too, just in case you guys want to read through it or you aren't able to catch tomorrow's. We're gonna start at part 3 tomorrow, and then I just started this Flesh Sim video. He's a TikToker. If you haven't seen, he just started this YouTube channel like 2 months ago or something. But yeah, I like his long form videos are great. And he's talking about North Fox Island, which is tied into the P word rings. I'm telling you, dude, all this shit is just one thing. It's all just this essentially Epstein blackmail ring that's how we know it, but it really is just a big old fucking P word ring, you know? And these weirdos, they use it, and then our government uses it, the FBI uses it to blackmail the government. It's just a bunch of depraved freaks. And then Flesh Sims just talking about North Fox Island. This is part 2 on his series. I should have watched part 1 first, but I just wanted to watch the North Fox Island one.
His obituary confirmed his member.
I do like the JBR, or that John Benet Ramsey is Katy Perry. We did look into it, but there's just like, you know, there's video and film and picture evidence of of Katy Perry when she's young with her family. So I hope it's real, but yeah, just for right now, I'm not saying confirmed on that. I'm not telling you not to though. You can do whatever you want. You can believe whatever. I'm never going to stop you from believing that. I'm not convinced yet, but I like it. I like the idea and I want it to be true. Because that would mean that John Benet Ramsey wasn't killed by, seems like maybe her family in like a sacrificial ritual, you know? Because that is really hard for me to stomach. So yeah, I would much rather her be Katy Perry. But honestly, I think that John Benet Ramsey's family is just one of those families that is a Saturn worshipping family, and they think that you have to sacrifice your own children to become powerful. Isn't that normal? Isn't that just a normal person thing to do? Where you raise a child to sacrifice them to your fucking weird god? Baphomet or whatever? Saturn? The hexagon of Saturn? Whatever these nerds are worshipping? Child eaters? But yeah, so I would much rather her be alive and be Katy Perry, but I don't know. I think her parents sacrificed her because they're weird.
Membership in Yale's secretive Skull and Bone Society. Those silly guys.
Fuck them.
On his mother's side, his grandfather was Russell Alger, an Army general, founder of a light bulb factory in Michigan, United States Secretary of War under William McKinley, governor of Michigan, and then senator from Michigan. My point is that Francis was a fancy lad and clearly extremely well connected. Gerald Richards got to know Francis Sheldon through them both writing for a magazine called Better Life Monthly, which was more frequently known by its unofficial name, Boy Lovers Monthly. So upon writing to one another and discovering they were both based in northern Michigan, the two began to hatch a plan to set up a summer camp.
Yeah, dude. Orlando Brown. I mean, all of these fucking... Dude, the more I look at it, it's like the more... All of these kids that were in... Because he was on That's So Raven, right? Orlando Brown. I didn't watch that show. I think I was like a year or two too old for it. So I never watched it. But I've seen him talk about this shit recently, you know? And I get him. He, like, everyone always paints him as like a like a kook, but I understand what he's doing. He's just dancing around. He can't say shit. He's like being like Cat. He's just not as like, you know, Cat has a real like specific way with words. Orlando Brown is mostly just like, he's more like us, I feel like, goofy all the time, even though everything is so fucking dark. And he can't specifically say shit, you know? So he's got to, like, leave riddles. And yeah, he's just trying to, like, goof about it because I'm sure otherwise, if he doesn't goof about it occasionally, it'll probably kill him. But yeah, dude, these people are sick. They, like inflicting pain on children and using children. And that's who these people are. So they're capable of anything, and John Benet Ramsey's dad really has put himself in the center a lot. So fuck that guy. They're up to something. These families are very weird, And I swear to God, if he's the Atlanta child killer, I'm gonna find out. I said if, John. Don't even sue me, you weirdo. Because if you do, you better hope that it's not true. Because I will fucking find out.
To operate as both a business and also a front to provide them with unmonitored access to young boys. There's an interesting and exceptionally poorly aged interview with Sheldon from 1975 published in the Detroit Free Press, which I will now read an excerpt from. Many weekends, he takes his young friends along to North Fox Island, as well as his adult friends. He rarely goes to the island alone, despite the fact that he says, I suppose you could call me a semi-recluse. He says he goes to North Fox Island more than I should, and not as much as I like to. Several months of the year, when snow covers the airstrip, he doesn't visit the island at all. He's never been married.
Bro, this sounds like Epstein 1.0.
Now, in order to set up this organization, Sheldon got in contact with a friend of his, a man by the name of Dyer Grossman. Nominative determinism. Grossman was a similarly rich, old-money Long Island private school teacher, and ran in the same circles as Sheldon. He was also a reverend of the Church of the New Revelation, an organization that he had been involved in founding. Now, to be clear, this was not a real church in any way. There was no congregation, there was no chapel.
Go figure.
This was something closer to, like, Kramerica Enterprises from Seinfeld. It's a catch-all, shell company-esque tax shelter. Grossman was well-versed in the world of tax fraud, having also been involved in creating an organization in New Jersey called the Ocean Living Institute, and a charity in Chicago called the Educational Foundation for the Youth of Illinois. Now, Grossman was typically not listed as the founder or president of any of these organizations. He would usually choose a second-in-command type role. The respective president and director of these organizations is someone we will get to shortly. Grossman advised Sheldon on the formation of Brother Paul's as a tax dodge and front, and helped him set it up as a subsidiary of the Church of New Revelation. Something else disturbing that wound up being uncovered was Grossman and Sheldon's plans to officially set up Brother Paul's as a foster home. Bizarrely, this seemed to be more about the state foster income than it even was about the child molesting.
Oh, I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that, bro. I think, no, you might be right. I don't know. These guys, you're right. I don't know which is more the priority. Them constantly scrambling for cash, or them constantly scrambling for new children to devour. You know?
I guess just shows you where these rich bastards' heart truly lies. Richards also testified about the existence of other operations, including Odyssey/Project Delta, Troop 137, and something in Tennessee called Father Bud's Boys Farm. Father Bud's was a program that was sort of a troubled teen camp, where, if you caught your kid smoking weed or something, you could punish them by sending them to Tennessee to get molested.
I'm a therapist who goes to therapy, and some people think that's strange. The thing is, though, therapists are human beings,
Ethical
just
streamer.
like you. If you've been thinking about or know
Better
that
help,
you need to go
CIA.
to therapy, listen. It's not abnormal, weak, or weird to feel overwhelmed, angry.
Okay, I can't
depressed,
watch a full
confused.
minute of this, sorry.
Boy, I'm sure glad that nothing like that still happens to this very day, specifically in the states of Florida, Montana, and Wyoming. There's also rumors of the operation either bribing or blackmailing a local judge into sentencing teens to the boys' farm for relatively minor infractions. However, I wasn't able to find a clear source on that part. Okay, I find that hard to believe. A judge accepting kickbacks to over-sentence teenagers to a state-funded private juvenile detention center? Pennsylvania? According to Richards, the structure of the organization as a whole functions something like this. Most of the films were shot either at Father Bud's or North Fox Island, using boys from Troop 137 or the Adelphi Academies. They would be abused either by paying clients or by members of the distribution ring themselves. Following this, the film reels would be sent to Richards to develop. After this, he would send the developed film reels to a mail forwarding company in North Carolina called Mail-O-Matic, where they would then be sent to a California-based chicken photographer by the name of Guy Straight. Nominative anti-determinism. In order to be duplicated and distributed via a company called F&F Distributors. Also, sometimes in these interviews called F&S Distributors. I don't really know what the timeline between the switch is, but it's the same company.
Yeah, BetterHelp is I bet BetterHelp is just the fucking CIA. And then they, that's how Johnny Harris is, or who Johnny Harris is always sponsored from, and all the kind of sus ones, I think BetterHelp is a way for them to record all of our trauma that they love and watch it back, and then also a way for them to pay all of their propagandists without alerting people. Instead of Johnny Harris getting a check from the State Department every month, he's getting one from BetterHelp, probably.
This is the same distribution company that Norman and Paskey used to distribute Hermes. In an interview with Guy Strait called His Only Regret That He Was Caught, Strait describes, amongst other things, working specifically with John Norman in order to set up a, quote, neater package. The last name to come up here is one of the stranger ones of the lot. Richards testified that one of the few people somehow involved, at least tangentially, with all of these operations was a guy named Adam Starchild. Starchild, as it turned out, was a man originally named Malcolm McConaughey. Good lord, that is an ugly man. After a string of legal incidents and problems in his personal life, including being removed from a position as a scout leader following a confession of sexual attraction to the scouts, McConaughey faked his death, published a fake obituary, and reemerged under the name Adam Starchild. Starchild made a name for himself as a proponent of the perpetual traveler movement, essentially advocating for becoming a stateless nomad through various legal loopholes. He would also accrue a significant rap sheet in the world of financial fraud. This is primarily what he was known for. He wound up managing Frank Sheldon's money.
Dude, isn't it always so interesting that these people are usually P-words and they are always committing all sorts of financial crimes, and then they just get away with it?
As well after Sheldon fled to the Netherlands, and actually tried to just keep it, presumably under the auspice of, like, well, what are you going to do about it? Come back here? But Sheldon successfully sued for his money back, because Anyways, Starchild was involved in the management of Brother Paul's Children's Mission. He was involved, at least in some degree, with Troop 137. He was the director, or president, I can't remember which, of Church of the New Revelation, as well as the one in New Jersey, the Ocean Living Institute, and the one in Chicago, the Educational Foundation for the Youth of Illinois, or something like they're all fake, dude. He handled the sale and purchase of the plane. He used to travel to North Fox Island. He was involved in organizing the construction of the airstrip. Fun fact, the guy who was hired to handle the construction of the airstrip, the grandfather of JonBenet Ramsey. So I guess all these weirdos know each other. God knows what else. He really had his fingers in everything. So it's pretty safe to say that Starchild was, 1, the logistics/money guy, 2, one of the primary links between all of the involved parties, and 3, judging by his prior vacation of his position as a scout leader, probably not only involved on the money side. All in all, much like Project Delta, very few people were meaningfully brought to justice for this. A few of the lower-level mooks and goons got. Some of the clients got arrested. Richards wound up being imprisoned for his other sex crimes. Sheldon fled to the Netherlands to avoid prosecution and died there sometime in the 80s or 90s. Grossman, I think, disappeared, and Starchild wound up doing time in the 80s for mail fraud and wire fraud, which is, I guess, the real crime here. So, to close out, I offer you a quote from Francis Sheldon himself. "On a calm day, you really learn what silence is. And at night, darkness." Freak.
Dude. Fuck Sheldon. Francis Sheldon. Bye, Lolly. See ya. Alright, let's look at where's Sheldon's fucking tree. Where is it? Oh my god, we've got so many. Sheldon. Okay, so this is the guy that we were talking about there. Francis Sheldon. This freak. Dude, now that you know what a Yale P word looks like, doesn't he just, it's screaming it, right? Yeah, of course, this is what all the P words look like. Yeah, for sure. But dude, in here, his fucking dad... Or no, I think this is Francis. There's someone had a writing of theirs from when he went to fucking the Netherlands. He fled America to run away from getting in trouble here, and he went to the Netherlands. And dude, he just went there and wrote a fucking NAMBLA magazine. That he just went and he wrote fan fiction about man boy love. And it's in here in Ancestry somewhere. Fuck, where is it? Life story. I'll find it. I'll find it and show it to you when I get a second to look. Dude. Or maybe it is his dad. Let me look at his dad. Gallery. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go to gallery on Francis. I think that's where it is. Come on, Francis. Where are you, buddy? Jeez Louise. Gallery. Here it comes. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Is this it? Oh my fucking god. Yes, this is. Do you see what he called this thing? This is like, well, this is from a thing called Boy Wiki, which is like, yikes. Ventures and Adventures in Boy Love Publishing. Yo. So Frank Torrey is Francis Sheldon's cover name, I think. And it says he's an author, publisher, and boy love activist. Do you see how they just like talk about it when they're in good company? He was born near Detroit, Michigan. He was educated at Yale University and served in the U.S. Air Force. Go figure. In 1979, he moved to the Netherlands, where he has lived as an expatriate. I love how he says moved. What's it called when you flee because you're going to prison? That's what he did. He fled being a P word. But yeah, so he just chilled in Amsterdam because apparently Amsterdam loves P words. Like, I can't think of another explanation for why he was just chilling in Amsterdam. But he edited the first anthology of boy love fiction, Panthology, published by John Stamford Spartacus. Dude. Specializing in boy love fiction. Apart from publishing fiction, Torrey was interested in the scholarly work on boy love, which was becoming important in the 1980s. He translated many scholarly books. It's like boys on their contacts with men. His legacy. Torrey's work has been extremely important for the boy love community. As a publisher of fiction, he created the genre of the boy love short story as we know it. With the scholarly ventures, Torrey was instrumental in bringing some pioneering works to the English audience. Finally, as an activist in Pan, he fostered the myth of the Netherlands as the country tolerant to boy love. A myth that is becoming a terribly unstuck at the time of his death. So unfortunately it seems like maybe the Netherlands isn't so cool with boy love, as they call it. But that's the dudes, if you're rich, you can do anything. You can do anything you want at any time, no questions asked. Just fucking if you get in trouble, dude, just flee. If you're rich, guys. This only works if you currently are a Fed and your family were Feds or P words that were working with the Feds to get, other P words, children. But if you're a normal person, do not try and flee because they will kill you for sure. But yeah, anyway, okay, let's watch a couple minutes of this, Ancient Aliens, and then we'll probably wrap it up after this. Have a little short night tonight.
August 1946. Esteemed.
So this is, I think, who sent this? Maybe Hoon? Yeah, Hoon sent this, I think. And this is back to our Antarctica conversation that we've been having. This is interesting to me. It might not be real. Who knows? But it does have interesting details. Like, this is History Channel, right? And people always ask me, like, what I trust or whatever. I don't trust anything or anyone. But what I do is watch everything, right? And I like to see, like, how some places describe things, or like I want to see what like I know History Channel has like the History Channel feels like a propaganda, like conspiracy wing of the United States at this point, you know, but they always do put some truth in there, you know, so we'll take a look. We'll see what they say. Yeah,
US naval
skepticism for sure. But this is a fun story.
and explorer
It's short.
Admiral Richard Byrd, one of the first pilots to fly over both the North and South Poles. With 13
What the frick? Hello?
one of the first pilots to fly over both the North and South Poles, organizes Operation High Jump, the largest expedition ever to travel to Antarctica. With 13 ships.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you watch it for nostalgia too. You know, usually what I find with these things is even the, like, you know, stuff that I consider like propaganda, they do always have parts that are true, you know? This is what I've learned from reading as much as I can, right? Is I can tell usually like how a specific newspaper is going to cover a story based on how they normally do, you know? Like basically no one ever tells like the workers' side of anything, you know? So if they're talking about workers' rights and stuff like that, I like, you know, we won't listen to a single word about it, essentially. Or what they're saying proves that the opposite is true or whatever, you know? So you just kind of, you learn how to inform your opinion of what you're reading. It's not that you want to cut all propaganda out, right? Because you want to know your enemies. You want to know what makes them tick. You want to know what they're saying, how they're attacking you, you know? Yeah, you can't defend against a lie without knowing the lie that was told. So yeah, for a long time, I would listen to Ben Shapiro when I first started getting involved in all this, because I was like, this dude is wrong and I don't like him, but I like need to figure out why, like find out why. And the only way to do that, I think, is to just keep watching them. But yeah, it helps you learn how to fight back against them, you know, because they always have the same exact tactics. And so you hear how they attack other people, and then you protect yourself from that, you know? You learn ways around that and stuff. So I never cut out any, like, news sources. What I do is just try and think of what parts of the story they are lying or manipulating, you know? Or what parts are probably truthful. And that's kind of how I go about stuff, you know? You don't want to cut things out. You just want to understand what point they're making and why. And usually the point that they're making is to benefit capitalists, and the why is because capitalism, for the most part.
23 aircraft and over 4,700 military personnel.
This was very important that after the conclusion of World War II, Admiral Byrd was asked if he would mount a large armada and go for 4 months. It was supposed to be that they would go in December, January, February, and March, and there was a list of military goals that they were to achieve. But by the end of February, something happened.
One of the mission's official goals was investigating sites for potential military bases in Antarctica. But during his explorations, Admiral Byrd allegedly came upon something highly unexpected.
This story is said to come from his diaries, not his published account of the trip, but something he held back and then later was suppressed by government authorities that found it frightening.
Extraordinary story. Admiral Byrd heard there was an entrance to the center of the Earth through the South Pole. And he took planes into the South, under the South Pole. And when he did that, he discovered that as he flew over the pole, suddenly he's looking at things that shouldn't be there. I mean, it was temperate. His squadron flew under the Earth, into the Earth.
It turns into this lush and green area, and he can't even believe his eyes. But that's just the beginning of his extraordinary story. He tells how all of a sudden he starts to see a shimmering rainbow city that's made of crystal.
No.
His airplane is taken control.
Imagine if that's true. I mean, dude, There is something under that ice. Synthara knows it. We know it. Until it's proven that it's not a shimmering crystal city, hey, it's our world, and we can do whatever we can do and say and think whatever the frick we want. And if we want to think that there's a crystal city deep underground that then somehow leads to space, we're going to, you know? Dude, I have to know how you go up into the butthole of Earth through Antarctica, and y'all keep telling me that somehow that takes you to space. I can't wait to find out. When we do Dunkirk, dude, imagine all of us with like our thousand planes. Dude, we're gonna be flying through here like the end of Star Wars. You know, with the what is it called? What's the runway or the tunnel thing at the end? You know what I'm talking about? When they're flying through, and then he drops the missile in, but we're not gonna drop a missile in it. We're gonna all fly through this, and Peter Thiel's gonna be at the end of this, right where the city is. No, we are gonna drop a missile on him. We're gonna do a big old boomer on him.
Beginning of his extraordinary story, he tells how all of a sudden he starts to see
Peter
a shimmering
Thiel,
rainbow
put your hands
city
up.
that's made of crystal.
He's not. He won't listen to us. Just drop the big one on him. Get him, boys.
Airplane is taken control of when he suddenly sees these flying disc-shaped objects around him that...
Hey, this dude supposedly wrote about disc-shaped shit in what, 19... Was it during the war? When was this
lead
after the
him
war?
to the ground. Whereupon he's escorted into a cavernous type of an area where he meets a being he refers to as the Master in his diary.
I don't like
that. The Master
that.
tells him that they're highly disappointed in what humans are doing with nuclear weapons.
Dude, so I have always thought that, like, if an alien species was real, right? When would they make contact? And I think that the indicator that it's time to make some contact is when you start seeing nuclear shit happening, right? Because maybe you're a benevolent race and you're like, oh, we should go warn them not to make the same mistakes as us, you know? Like, and think about it too, like I've always wondered if maybe they're like, you know how they're always seen around nuclear bases and ships and stuff and submarines? It's like always around military bases. I mean, A, probably because they're military or whatever, and B, because I think that maybe they're watching them, dude. Maybe they're like, if these motherfuckers blow up our beautiful Earth zoo that we've made, we're gonna take them out, you know? Maybe they're like, I mean, people call them the Watchers sometimes, right? That the aliens are the Watchers. Or maybe it's us in the future or something, who knows? But I've always thought that it makes a lot of sense that if aliens are real, that they would contact us after fucking dropping nuclear bombs. Especially since we did one and then we went crazy on it. We were like, whoa, that Trinity test was fun. Let's do them everywhere. Let's do them everywhere, and like so many. Let's do so many nuclear tests. We won't tell anyone. We're not going to tell a single person. We're just going to turn the entire desert into glass and give everyone 3 heads. Fuckers. Dude, that's the thing that pisses me off, is just the recklessness with which they do everything. They're just like, they think that they're God. And at the same time, I actually do think that they know that, like, I think that they're heating the earth intentionally. I think that's why they're doing the fossil fuel shit. And besides the profits, like, I literally think that they might be trying to melt Antarctica because they want to see what's under it. And fuck what happens. Who cares? That's how they think. You know? That pisses me off. These people don't deserve anything. Because they can't. Like, you have to take care of shit. That's the worst thing, is when people don't take care of shit. Like, there's some people I won't borrow my tools or anything to, you know? because every time you get them back, they're fucked up. It's like, bro, the tool takes care of you. You got to take care of the tool. I like my cords wrapped up nice. Extend the life on them. Dude, I put Velcro straps on everything so that my cords stay nice and wrapped. You know? It's nice to take care of shit. So we should be taking care of the earth, bro. It's really shameful that we don't, honestly. As a species, it's like disgusting that we don't give a shit. It's really weird. So weird. But, you know, when you figure it out and you go, oh, it's really only like 100 assholes making all the decisions. It's not us. Then it makes a lot more sense, you know? But yeah, we need to take care of this motherfucker.
And how they've recently destroyed Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and they really are concerned about what is going on the surface of the planet. They tell Admiral Byrd that they hope that humanity will ultimately stop this.
For UFO researchers, this account from Admiral Byrd's diary is particularly significant due to the fact that the modern UFO era began right after World War II and the detonation of the first atomic bombs. It has also been noted that a high number of UFO sightings have been reported in the vicinity of nuclear missile silos.
Admiral Byrd's story is congruent with the stories that we hear from numerous accounts of angelic or extraterrestrial type beings that are very concerned about what humanity is doing with nuclear weapons. Just ask.
Yeah, Smack Daddy said, Shapiro's a clown. Your higher self told you to not like him. Same as I. That's what they label discernment. I call it pineal gland decalcified. But yeah, dude, there is something about, like, I feel like vibes, there's some sort of vibes that are real. Because I feel like I get an instant read on people. Oh, especially in person, dude. Like, in person, I feel like I can tell if you're like someone I need to stay the fuck away from and not engage with ever, like, instantly. And if someone has good energy, I could feel that, like, instantly. Like, I feel like I can tell instantly whether or not to be, like, goofy jokey with people, or, like, if I have to be serious with them or whatever, you know? So yeah, there's something there, man. Some sort of enlightenment that maybe they don't get. Maybe that's what this whole thing is. Maybe we're, like, evolving. Like, we have emotional feelings that they don't have. Truly, I think maybe. You know? I don't know if they understand, like, compassion. And if you think about it, it kind of makes sense, too, for, like, a long time. It probably, well, I don't know. Maybe that's just the way they want us to think. But, like, maybe up until a few hundred years, like, it was a lot more brutal and hard to live, you know? So maybe those are a lot of the people who survived. But I don't know. I feel like that's probably also a lie that they tell us because they want us to be brutal. And really, we have a lot of cooperation and stuff that actually gets us, like, through this shit. I think I have to run one more ad. And then, so I'm going to talk about just chatter stuff for 60 seconds. 5 ad people. Sorry, you have to go for an ad. But yeah, as long as we know that Ancient Aliens is a psyop to prepare us for Project Bluebeam when it comes, it's interesting and can be fun to explore. Yeah, right? Oh, that's another thing. We could look at Benjamin Fulford, too, and see what he has to say. Let's see if he's got any good Project Bluebeam updates. Oh, dude, Benjamin Fulford's talking about the Bitcoin fraud. Fake U.S. government buys a week of time with Bitcoin fraud and by stealing Russian assets. Dude, Benjamin Fulford is awesome too, like Hanky. I gotta get him on the stream. The pedo blackmailed and bribed acting troupe that pretends to be the U.S. government. Oh my god. Okay, ad people, are you back? I just thought about Benjamin Fulford for a second, because Bunny said, as long as we know that the ancient aliens is a psyop to prepare us for Project Bluebeam when it comes, it's interesting and can be fun to explore. And I said, yeah, oh wait, we should look at Benjamin Fulford and listen to this. Well, he wrote something that, when is this? This is today. He wrote this today. I wonder if he was picking up some, Max Azzarello vibes. Picking up what Max was putting down, But fake U.S. government buys a week of time with Bitcoin fraud and by stealing Russian assets. This first sentence killed me. The pedo blackmailed and bribed acting troupe that pretends to be the U.S. government just bought itself a little more than a week's survival time by means of outright crime. The Rothschild Rockefeller owners of the U.S. corporation did this by fooling many people with real money to invest in a hallucination known as Bitcoin. They also stole money Russia earned by selling real products such as gas and oil. However, since the U.S. corporation is burning through $1 trillion every 100 days, it means the $95 billion bribery bill they just passed only bought them a little over a week of time. Bro, this sound goes perfectly with the Cat Dad logo. Oh, yeah, dude, you're right. I should run. You're right. I'm going to get a little scene set up that I can play when I send them to go. So then I know what a minute is too, and I don't have to keep looking. But yeah, dude, this is going to be some great like elevator music. Exactly. Okay, I'm going to make that tonight and try and have it ready for tomorrow. And then I'll have a minute of music so that I know when the commercial's back. Yeah, that's so good. What is that from? Is that from Eric? Is that Eric Andre or is that something else? I can't remember. Dude, this is he must have wrote this because Max, he heard about it because of Max, hopefully. Yeah, this $95 billion bribery bill bought them a little over a week. So is he saying this shit is about to fucking bomb out in a week? Oh shit, I scrolled up. Sorry. Is he saying this shit is about to... Because, yeah, it's happening soon, I'm assuming, but like, how soon? Benjamin Fulford says a week? Oh, man. Let's just start a Knitwitch bank run. Dude, bank run. Get your shit out. No, I'm just kidding. That is not advice. Don't listen to me. It was a joke. I don't know. I mean, Peter Thiel didn't go to jail for starting a bank run. I should be able to start a bank run, right? Peter Thiel literally did the Silicon Valley bank run by texting his bros. So I should be able to text my bros, the Knitwitches, and tell them to start a bank run, right? It seems perfectly logical to me. House Speaker Mike Johnson, the traitor who passed the bill, is a brainwashed Christian Zionist. Boy, is he ever. Completely comprised by the KM deep state. KM, what is that? Johnson is now finished politically, as are the rest of the Satanist slave politicians. Dude, I can't believe all this shit is real. It's so insane that we're literally talking about these fucking Satanists that are running our government. How stupid. They're so dumb. So cringe, dude. Like, there's something wrong with this man.
I'm doing here what I believe to be the right thing. I think providing lethal aid to Ukraine right now is critically important. I really do.
Lethal aid. How disgusting. Lethal aid. Listen to these buffoons. Listen to these lawyers. These freaking lawyers, dude. I cannot stand these lawyers.
I do believe the intel and the briefings that we've gotten that I believe Xi and Vladimir Putin and...
Oh, yeah. Bunny, don't ever apologize. You do too much already, brother.
And Iran really are an axis of evil. I think they're in coordination on this. I think that Vladimir Putin would continue to march through Europe if he were allowed. I think he might go to the Balkans next. I think he might have a showdown with Poland or one of our NATO allies.
Okay, what about I were just stealing Gaza, though? We're not the bad guys?
To put it bluntly, I would rather send bullets to Ukraine than American boys. My son is going to begin in the Naval Academy this fall. This is a live fire exercise for me, as it is so many American families. This is not a game. It's not a joke. We can't play politics of this. We have to do the right thing. And I'm going to allow an opportunity for every single member of the House to vote their conscience and their will on this. And I think that's the way this institution is supposed to work. And I'm willing to take personal risk for that because we have to do the right thing, and history will judge us.
History fucking is going to judge you, brother. Honestly, I hope more than history is going to judge you. I hope we all get to judge you very soon, bro. Oh, man, I want to be on that jury. Would you guys like to be on that jury? I fucking bet. I sure as fuck would. Ooh. I'm grateful to the United States House of Representatives, both parties, and personally Speaker Mike Johnson for the decision that keeps history on the right track. Democracy and freedom will always have global significance and will never fail as long as America helps to protect it. The vital U.S. aid bill passed today by the House will keep the war from expanding, save thousands and thousands of lives, and mostly fund our right-wing Nazi paramilitaries. Amen. Hoorah, brother. Our Zionist militaries. Like, Ukraine is essentially Israel. That's what it is. It's trying to, like, encroach on Russia right now. And, dude, they have way too many fucking Nazis. Sorry, I'm not sorry, but there's way too many Nazis, bro. Y'all gotta stop. It's time to chill. Go home. Get a hobby that isn't being a Nazi. Stop caring about your skin color. You're weird. It's so weird, bro. It's so weird. It's so lame. Anyway. Yeah, did you guys see this? Like, bro. And they won't fucking... They're never canceling student debt. Shut up, you stupid little imps. Your college just got more expensive. Shut up. Yes! Wait. I can't, my thumb doesn't go backwards like everyone else's. Look, it just goes like this. I'm pushing back. It just goes like 90. But everyone else can get their freaking thumbs to like go crazy like this. What the frick? How do you guys do this? This doesn't even look like a heart. It looks like a apple. Whatever. Worked. But yeah, dude, this is insanity. Do you remember when Canada had that Nazi and gave him a whole round of applause? That was fucking hilarious. U.S. House approved $60 billion in non-auditable Ukraine foreign aid kickback pipeline to shore up dark money 2024 election interference plans. We'll never know how much of this money will be used to pay for this summer's riots. Dude, that's exactly that is it. Yeah. We will never know how much will be used for this summer's riots. There's just going to be random pallets of bricks stacked up on every corner. They're literally going to do the purge and then they're going to blame it on us. The problem with the Satanists is that while they are the best liars in the world, I don't think they are though. They just have other liars who are around them. They've just killed everyone else. Lies do not reflect reality. The reality is that in the physical world of things, the tide has turned and their central bank fraud is ending. This chart showing Chinese U.S. government bond sales are causing U.S. interest rates to rise and the U.S. real economy to implode is an illustration of that. Dude, Max was spot on, brothers. Look at this. Look at this nosedive. This looks like the fucking Luminar stock. Ayo! Bonk. Here, look. Let's take a look at that. Luminar stock. Probably doing... Oh! It's gone up, guys. It went to... What? Did it go down to 0 today? What the fuck? Or no, that's not 0. Here, guys. Look. Look at this. Look, Luminar used to do so good. Look, Luminar? 37... How much money is that? A lot. Look where it is today. That's typical Nancy shit right there. Look at it. Boom. And look, it's the exact same shape. Look at it. This means that we're doing good, right? Dude, the crush is coming. Take NASA, not a space agency, as an example. Bro, I gotta get Benjamin Fulford on the pod, on the show. Dude, imagine Benjamin Fulford and John Hankey together. That would be a trip. Yeah, typical Nancy L. Classic Nancy L. Take NASA, not a space agency, as an example. NASA in Hebrew means to deceive. That's interesting. The evidence is now overwhelming that NASA is a giant con job, bro. I love Benjamin Fulford. And I love my hanky. I gotta get them on a show together. NASA is a $26 billion per year fraud supported by murder and bribery. Here are some examples. In the first picture, you can see astronauts on the moon without oxygen masks. Is he saying this? What? No way, dude. The next, as you can see, NASA took a picture from a landscape in Bulgaria, turned it red, and called it Mars. No, did they? Dude, did they? Is that true? Bro. Dude, they're such scammers. I mean, we know they're scammers, bro, but this... Dude. Oh my god. Oh wait, no, this is from Capricorn 1. In 1976, movie Capricorn 1, link below, is most certainly based... No, this is them. Capricorn 1 is almost certainly based on a true story of an astronaut who exposed the fraud of moon travel and led to the end of manned trips to the moon. Well, it was Mars. They basically did an obvious like moon comparison, and they just said it was Mars. But you guys should watch Capricorn 1 if you haven't. Here, I'll share the link in the chat. It's so good. I love it. It like feels new because, you know, it's not a sequel. Like, it rocks. Oh, dude, Catasaurus, I cannot wait until you finally, like, it finally clicks in my head how how the ocean is space. I cannot fucking wait. I believe you. I honestly do. I just can't wait till it makes sense in my head. Other frauds continue though. Dude, he doesn't even have to talk about the Challenger. Dude, there's no way. This is insane. The war in Ukraine and the so-called fighting between Iran and Israel are cases in point. The $60 billion the KM plans to send to Ukraine will be mostly spent on buying stockpiles of old weapons to send to the synagogues there for resale on the world's arms market. Dude, that makes me think about those tunnels. Remember at the Brooklyn Shabbat one? What were those tunnels for? Weapon smuggling? I would believe that. I would believe that. Huh. It's about provoking Ukraine into further hostilities down to the last Ukrainian, putting guaranteed money in the pockets of the U.S., Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov told reporters. The $26 billion of money for Israel is being spent on bribes as well as such things as the provably fake recent Israeli missile attack. Wait, he's saying that Israel didn't attack Iran?
What role in the Middle East again does Israel play in this?
This is Bill Cunningham, right?
Israel was created as the instrument to bring about the Battle of Armageddon and the fulfillment of prophecy, a war that will be so terrible, where nuclear weapons will be used, so that the American citizens and the other people in the world will get down on their knees and beg for no more war. And what is the answer to that? They're going to be told the only way we can guarantee no more war is if we destroy the sovereignty of nations and we come together as one humanity in a one world government.
Right.
Now I'm telling you, unless the American people wake up and stop it, starting in about 1996, the Battle of Armageddon will become a reality.
Yeah, what are you guys waiting for, you cowards? Come on. You've been doing this since 1996. Let's go. But no, they truly have. Like, dudes, that's when OKC happened. That's when all this shit started running, you know? Or wait, was 1995 when OKC happened? Whatever. That is when this shit became regular. It's like every other year we have to have a mass shooting or an explosion. I guess, you know, like, the Challenger was in like 86, but like, you know, it feels like they've been waging a war against us for the last 30 years. No missile attacking on Iran. Tehran says explosion in Isfahan due to activation of its air defense system. Wait, is this true? So the retaliation thing isn't real? Is that what he's saying? Huh. Gonna look into that later. And guys, just because we're watching this and reading this does not mean that we believe this, right? We got to look at the evidence, because I don't think I've heard that yet. But I mean, they lie about everything, you know? Everything is a false flag to get to the next war. So, and think about it. They're always fighting Iran, but like, don't they have like, they're like buds and chums with everyone in the Middle East because they've, you know, done every coup imaginable, you know? So they're like puppets. And then we say, look, it's literally kayfabe or kayfabe. I don't know how you say it. Probably fabe. I think I've heard that. Exactly what Max was saying. Yeah, everything is a fucking inside job. You know, it's all a show, you know? It's like Iran, big scary Iran. Like, we're not over there. We don't know. They don't let us hear from people there because they silo us all off. They put all the weird leftists together, the Knitwitches. They put all the everyone else, the 99% of everyone else together and call them the silent majority who's not silent. They're the loudest motherfuckers. They're all just racist a little bit. No, they're just misinformed. We can get to them, guys. Anyway, that, you know, I would believe that. Because remember, this is like literally them. Were we talking was it yesterday in the documentary Tantura, where they were like, Here's how I want the ending of the research to go. I want you to go out there and research this until you find that Israel did not do any genocide, okay? Go out there and research. Don't come back until you come back with research that says that they did not do that, okay? That's the only answer I want to hear. Like that's what they're doing here, you know? They're going, no matter what, we're going to war because these fucking defense budgets are not going to spend themselves. And if we don't spend them this year, our budgets are getting cut, you know? And the only way the budget goes is up. So, sorry, all civilians, you're going to have to die. All for fake numbers on a fake spreadsheet that doesn't really exist. We exist, but we don't count.
منطقه ضد انجام اصفهان این کوه انرژی هسته‌ای ساعت 5:30 صبح صدا انفجار 3 تیر اومد هیچ خبری نبود صدا پدافند دفاعی بود همین پدافند هوایی این عزیزان که اینجا می‌بینید صدا ایشون ها بود و
The $9 billion sent to Taiwan is being spent mostly on bioweapons operations in Taiwan, intended to kill off a large percentage of China's population. I believe that. That is why China hasn't released death and cremation data since the massive COVID-19 outbreak in December 2022, when the CCP suddenly abandoned all restrictions. In a sign the attack is really severe, developers in China have created and begun testing cadaver collecting machines. Ugh. How about we stop the people from dying? The Chinese are fighting back. They've already kicked the Rothschilds and Rockefellers out of their financial system. That's why the days of $1 million analyst jobs in the securities industry in China look to be all but gone. Huh. They can't get the big paychecks because the owners of the stock markets no longer control China's economy. China is also making big military moves. This week, over 180 high-level naval representatives from 29 countries, including Australia, Cambodia, Chile, France, India, Indonesia, Japan, South Korea, Russia, the U.S., Pakistan, and the U.K., are gathering in China to coordinate the ongoing international takedown of the Khazarian mafia. Think about it. The Russian, Chinese, UK, and U.S. navies are all cooperating against a common enemy. Wait, he actually thinks that our government is going to do something? The Khazarian mafia, is that what he calls like the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Bowers, the Luciferian Brotherhood? That's the same thing, right? Because the Khazarian mafia, yeah, I think so. This is why the attempts to use Iran and Israel to start World War III failed miserably. Instead, a decapitation operation against the Khazarian mafia is continuing. We have confirmed that Klaus Schwab Rothschild, the head of the World Economic Forum and the UN, has been removed as part of this battle. The other people targeted for termination include... Wait, who? Wait, is he saying that they got rid of Klaus Schwab Rothschild? Oh, this says Klaus Schwab is not related to the Rothschild. That means that they are. So what, did he die or something? Klaus Schwab. Rumors have emerged online that the WEF's executive chairman and founder Klaus Schwab has been hospitalized, arrested, and may even be dead. The Cube takes a look at what the false claims have come from. What's the Cube? And then it's, oh yeah, this guy, this asshole. And this thing says, no, Klaus Schwab is not dead, so that means he is dead. Dude, are they actually taking these assholes out? Come on. I need someone to start doing... You know how they killed all the people that I like? Maybe, you know, maybe someone who's crazy could target one of them instead of one of us. That was not an order. The cube? What is this? The black cube? Why is this called the cube?
Recently admitted to hospital in a serious condition and may have died.
Yes.
But it appears that the rumor may have sprung from earlier satirical news reports. Let's see how that happened.
No, I was just saying, like...
Social media users...
Yeah, you're right. That's not what I meant. I was saying, like, you know... They're always doing bad stuff to us. Like, why does it have to be us? That was not me wishing for it. But yes, sorry.
Rumors about Schwab's health.
But this cube, I feel like it's connected to the black cube. Everything is connected, bro. All symbology.
Many of these posts on X
I know.
shared thousands of times. Some of them linked
Dude,
to supposed
what is
condition
that?
to a heart problem after times.
What is this thing that he's wearing?
Shared thousands of times. Some of them link his supposed condition to a heart problem after running, while others even go as far as claiming he may be
This man is not running.
dead. However, none of this is true. It seems like the allegations stem from satirical articles such as this one. It doesn't provide any details about Schwab's supposed hospitalization, nor does it cite any sources. The web...
Yeah, you're right, though, Zach. He won't... No matter what happens, none of these people ever die. Like, Henry Kissinger, it took him 300 years? What was he? 301 years old? Oh, they're so gross and so droopy. Ugh. Just like drooping. Drooping off the frickin' bones on their body. Like, their body doesn't even want to exist anymore, and they're still going on.
Site's own About Us page says that it posts satire and comedic opinion pieces and editorials alongside supposedly reliable and unbiased news and information. Not only that, the WEF has confirmed that Schwab is in perfectly good health. The organization has said that the claims are entirely baseless and unfounded, and that Schwab's health is excellent. It added that, like many high-profile individuals and organizations, he has routinely been the target of conspiracy theories and misinformation campaigns. They're not wrong. The claims about Schwab's health came in lockstep with other allegations that the US Delta Force arrested Schwab at his home in Switzerland. An article by website Real Raw News said that a Delta Force...
Wait, is this the dude that owns Schwab Bank? I mean, there are no coincidences, right? Okay. Hey, I mean, if these guys want to fight each other secretly, in secret, behind the scenes, and they don't want to do total annihilation, nuclear war against us, I fully support that. I fully support that they do... Yeah, they should do secret society against secret society and keep us the fuck out of it. I do not want to be part of their death cult march anymore, you know? Alright, and let's just look at some of these. I just want to see his last Blue Beam report, because I don't think we read through this. Welcome back to Beyond Blue Beam. Today we explore vanished empire of Tartaria, once a mighty nation with its own government and flag. Tartaria has been mysteriously erased from history's pages. Is this real? Wait, I want aliens, though. I want an alien report. Or do you guys care about this? Is Tartaria a thing that I care about? Oh, wait, is there aliens here? This one doesn't seem exciting like I want. Iran attacks Israel, brought to you by Coca-Cola, Vanguard, and BlackRock. Oh my god. Dude, he should be hooked up with Hanky. I feel like they're the same. They're kind of the same. Look at Bill Cooper's MJ-12 report. Fuck yeah, dude. That's the Majestic 12, right? Oh, wait, I'll get this on archive. The secret government. Billy Cooper. Where are you? MUFON? Well, I guess archive doesn't have it. No fucking ebook? Oh my god. Okay, so anyway, Klaus Schwab is for sure 100% dead. That was confirmed. Here we go. I think this is one. What are we talking about here? I see D.U.M.s. We're looking at this one. Hello, readers. Welcome back to another riveting episode of Beyond Bluebeam. Today, prepare to be captivated. Whoa. What the fuck? Realinasium is a UFO movement funded in the 70s by Cloud Verahome, known as the Real. Dude, that's a straight up swastika inside triangles. What is up with these people? Teaches the extraterrestrial species known as the Elohim created humanity using their advanced technology. Oh my god, this feels the most real. Elohim too. That's the fucking shit that Majora's talking about a lot. That's Elohim City, but are these all the same? I mean, everything's the same, right? Everything's connected. UFO religion. Hey, I mean, I would rather have UFO religion than... Why do they gotta have a fucking swastika in the middle? I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Bro, they gotta lose the swastika in the middle. What the fuck? How is this is a swastika. How is that not a section on here? Why is there a swastika in the middle? Yeah. Yeah, Real stated that this was the symbol he originally saw on the hull of Elohim's spaceship. Yeah, because it was a fucking Nazi. God damn it. Oh, man. Okay. Today, prepare to be captivated on a journey into the realms of mysterious... you're just getting here. We are just going to read through Beyond Bluebeam. Benjamin Fulford's report on Project Bluebeam. Get a little updates. Yeah, the swastika didn't start in Germany. Everything is co-opted. But we're going to read through this and then probably call it a night. Have a little fun. Talk about UFOs for a minute. But everything is connected and they're all Nazi UFOs, so... Really, we can't escape into anything because everything is awful. Even UFOs are Nazis, bro. That's bad. That's a bad thing. Transcending both time and secrecy, our odyssey begins with an exclusive interview featuring Representative Tim Burchett, shedding light on the elusive world of UFO encounters. But that's just the beginning. Stay tuned as we uncover a complete list of deep underground military bases in the U.S. Boy, we need to know where those are. So this is actually very much part of the curriculum. Dude, even our fun stuff, we're still adding on. We're still learning. We're getting it. Because it's all part of this system, dude. Those D.U.M.s, the deep underground military bases, those are totally part of the trafficking. For sure. At this point, all these people talking about being in underground and shit, like Tim Burchett. The text below is taken from the link at the end. More UFO hearings coming. Rep. Tim Burchett says a previous hearing featured testimony from former military members. Whistleblower Dave Grusage claims there is a secret UFO retrieval program. The Pentagon denied such reports and says there is no evidence of aliens. After a Pentagon report denying any evidence of alien technology or extraterrestrial life, Tim Burchett said there needs to be hearings on the subject.
Today by humans and other animals and creatures, and also demons, the evil creatures associated with those religious beliefs. Are they all not?
Yeah, dude. Aliens. I believe this thing says, is it possible that God is an alien? I believe that. That's like what it is in Raised by Wolves.
Exist, or his creation. He's not one of them. And excuse me, angels.
Anyway. The Pentagon report was issued in the wake of a whistleblower complaint from former intelligence officer David Grusage, who claimed the Pentagon was operating a secret UFO retrieval program. Burchett hopes to change that with future hearings. We're going to hopefully have some whistleblowers in there to blow the lid off some of the stuff, so get ready, he told News Nation correspondent Ross Couthert. Although the Pentagon report denies any evidence of extraterrestrial activity, some have suggested it's just an attempt to cover up the truth and that information was selectively given to those writing it to keep UFO programs hidden. The head of the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office at the Pentagon, ADARO, the department changed with investigating reports of unexplained objects, resigned but not before saying the office was continuing to try to pursue the truth. Still, Kirkpatrick said AARO had no evidence of a UFO retrieval program, but there are options to replace him, including Couthart's pick, who has a background in the military and is familiar with UAPs. I recently had the pleasure of meeting Carl Nell, who's a former chief of the UAP task force, a magnificent warrior. Fuck this. He's not saying shit. Anyway, let's look at a list of these D.U.M.s. Complete list of military underground bases in the U.S. Dude. There are well over 120 underground military bases situated under major cities. The United States Air Force bases, Navy bases, and Army bases, as well as FEMA military training camps and DHS control centers are buried under the Earth's surface. Now, this is not just American bases, folks. This also applies to Canada, who also has several deep underground military. Like, how deep? How deep are these things? The majority of the bases are over 2 miles underground, and diameters range from 10 miles up to 30 miles across? No freaking way, dude. You cannot dig 2 miles under the ground. No. I'm not going to believe it. They dug these things 2 miles under the ground? Where do you put all the dirt? Where's all the fucking dirt that they're digging up? The channel. How deep is the channel? 75 meters. Dude, there's no way these things are 2 miles under the ground. That's crazy. Moon train. Oh, the moon is where they put all the earth. Because, yeah, dude, no, you're right. Because if you dig down, then you're in space, just like Antarctica, right? You dig down into the butthole of Earth, then you're in space, which is also water, and then you just dump your shovel, and that falls on the moon. That's how you create the moon. These bases are essentially large underground cities that have been feverishly constructed day and night, continually since the 1940s. Bro! According to reports, these bases are connected by a train system that has sped up to 150 miles per hour. No fucking way. Bro, if they have high-speed rail, but only underground in the military, I'm gonna lose it. Y'all heard of Mel's Hole? Dude, Bunny, don't start this as I'm trying to close the stream. I'm trying to get through this, and Bunny's over here talking about Mel's Hole. No, Bunny. We haven't heard of Mel's Hole. Tell us something that isn't totally horrific and mind-blowing. Have you ever... The last thing you want to hear from Bunny is, have you ever heard of Mel's Hole? Oh, man. The construction of this underground base began back in 1990... The United States government, through the NSA, DOD, CIA, the Army Marine Corps, FEMA, and the DHS, plus a myriad of other alphabet agencies, has spent in excess well over $12 trillion building the massive covert infrastructure for the coming one world government past 40 years. Dude, why can't they just be normal? We're not doing one world government. We're not doing your one world government. Well, we could do TikTok government, where it's just all of us being like, hey, here's what I think. And none of it ends with spending any money on weapons manufacturers. In fact, many of you already know this, but there's a deep underground military base underneath the Denver International Airport, which is over 22 miles in diameter and goes down over 8 levels. It's no coincidence that the CIA relocated the headquarters of its domestic division, which is responsible for operations in the United States, from the CIA's Langley headquarters to Denver. What the fuck? The construction of this underground base began back in 1995 when the government and politicians were hell-bent on building this airport, in spite of it ending up vastly over budget. There were charges of corruption, constant construction company changes, and mass firings of teams once they had built a section of their work where reports so that no one group had any idea where the blueprint of the airport was. Much more in the link below with the list of the D.U.M.s. Dude. Fuck these things, dude. No. These are not chill. What the fuck? Another base to look is one in New Mexico, the Dulce base. Dulce is a small town in northern New Mexico. Research of mine-related functions, genetic experiments, mind control. Dude, these Nazis have to go. No one is allowed to have deep underground military bases codenamed Casper anymore, where they're trying to turn people into ghosts. Oh my God. Look at how many. Dude, and if these are all actually connected and they have a high-speed rail underground, I swear to God, we have to take everything away from them. We have to do that anyway, but like, I mean, couldn't we technically just like fill their holes up with water or something? Where are the ones in New York? Adirondack Mountains near Elizabethtown, New York metro area. Dude, they definitely have big tunnels under New York. The U.S. just announced it's blocking the Freedom Aid and auditorship from setting sail to Schmaza. They don't want the humanitarian auditors there to see the lava expulsion. Awesome. Dude. Dude, fuck these people. I hate them. Yeah, look at how many of these there are. Oh shit, I had it over too far. Washington, D.C., the White House, the secret underground installation which is connected to the intelligence groups. With the House of the Temple. Dude, the Supreme Council of the 33rd degree of the Scottish Rites House of the Temple has a 14 by 25 room in it with 13 chairs where the Illuminati's Grand Druid Council meets. The Nod Deep underground installation has numerous levels to it. One eyewitness went to level 17 via an elevator and stated that he believes that deeper levels exist. Dude, you know they're not doing anything okay down there. They want to do fascism secretly and have us all debating what happened for the next 5 years. Yeah. This is a slight deviation. Oh. Slight deviation from the usual UFO and off-world sightings. Enjoy a little history of the lighter-than-air Zeppelin ships. In the dimly lit dining lounge aboard the legendary Zeppelin Hindenburg, a mysterious map hangs upon the wall, its ancient contours hinting at forgotten realms and lost civilizations. Whispers among the crew suggest it might be a relic from a time before the great floods receded, offering a clearer glimpse into the enigmatic past. Could this map hold the key to unlocking the secrets of the world lost in the annals of time? No, probably not.
This map has indeed always fascinated me. This is the map from the Hindenburg's dining lounge. As you can see, North America, Central, and South America look vastly different than the maps we have today. Was this a map after the reset?
What?
Before the floodwaters receded? What's also fascinating about this map is the vast amount of airship routes depicted in here. Again, depicting a much different history of air travel than we've been told. Of course, far from the only times, the maps of the old world seem to depict a much more different land than what we are told there today. Like great empires depicted in detail from the 1500s up until the late 1800s. Or Antarctica, depicted quite clearly in this map from 1531. Despite the mainstream telling us, once again, a vastly different story, telling us that the mainland wasn't sighted until 1820.
Huh.
History is indeed a set of lies agreed
So
upon.
what? So Antarctica was what? Atlantis? Alright. I'll fuck with that. Why not?
The Air Force officers at the U.S. missile silos, the nuclear missile silos.
Oh yeah, let's just finish up our fucking story that we were watching here.
That have seen their silos and their nuclear arms disarmed by what are perceived to be
This is that
extraterrestrial
Antarctica thing where the dude flew in the tunnel.
beings. They're very concerned that we are ultimately not just going to destroy ourselves, but could harm our planet, which is their world as well.
Yeah. Because we're gonna.
If Admiral Byrd's secret diary is authentic, does it reveal not only that there are highly advanced beings living inside the Earth, but also that they are monitoring what happens on the surface?
Please do something. Please stop them. Stop them from doing stuff to your Earth, please. Please stop them from nuking it all the time. Or are you in bed with them? Are you doing this with them for fun?
According to the diary, after this incredible encounter, Admiral Byrd was eager to share his story, but was ordered to remain silent.
Byrd comes back after this experience. He is taken to a government compound where he is told that he is never to speak of this publicly and that everything he says is classified.
Could Admiral Byrd's story point to a profound connection between the ancient traditions of strange beings living inside the Earth and the modern-day UFO phenomenon? Ancient astronaut theorists say yes, and believe we may be fast approaching the time when we will find ourselves face to face with the beings.
Good, dude. I just want to fucking know, finally. That's all. I just want to know. Please, tell us.
Of inner Earth.
Swamp Lord, you said, where's the scalar array? Is that the Tesla howitzer? Dude, it's directly across the whole mother effer. Oh, brother, here we go. Come on, Google Earth. Just take us where we want to go. You know we don't want to be here. We want to be in Antarctica. Duh. Always. All right, baby. Oh, yeah. You know where we want to be. Look, here's the black cube. Like, what is this shit Photoshop? Dude, they are covering something up here. I think. Why do they got a splice job here? Look at this. Brother. What the fuck is this? What are they doing? What are they building in there? What's he building in there? Dude, they're up to mischief. Look, this is exactly where the Tesla howitzer is. This is one end of it. And I think the other end goes to the fucking other side, bro. Boom. See this line? Maybe that's it. But there's definitely something over here that they're covering. See, look at this. What is this? You guys are such ass. And it's right by another station. Sven Research Station. Where's the research station? I don't see it. What, it's underground? Oh, God. Yeah, they're up to something. Wait, what? We're gonna get flagged. Wait, getting flagged. Because I keep saying... Because we're going into the Earth's B word. See? Here it is. Whee! Alright, guys, what do you do once you see the light? You turn around. You bop them in the nose. But it's not our time today, okay? Anyway. Yeah, look at the... Dude, look, there's nothing to see here. See? There's nothing to see here. Stop. Okay? The Black Pyramid is not right here. Dude, who can fly over... Someone's got to take us over Antarctica. We could do this. All right, let's finish this up.
Regarding Antarctica, on the condition that she not reveal his identity. Her source, a retired Navy SEAL, who she identifies as Spartan 1, provided her with details of an ancient structure he claims to have visited during his time at the South Pole.
That's kind of weird, right? But also, I thought these things don't fucking... Maybe they left a contrail to fuck with us. Because they said before that they don't leave exhaust.
Seeming impossibility because it meant that some object...
To the Pole has transcripts of his journals. Great, I'm going to look at that later. Tomorrow. We're going to wrap it up after this video here. To the Pole. Transcripts of Admiral. Yeah, dude. See, I never heard about Admiral Byrd until you guys told me about him. So it's a group effort. Come here, lady. What do you want? What? You're hungry? You want dinner? What do you want? Huh? Tell everyone. Can you hear her purring? All right, no more funny business, kidder.
Was able to traverse the entire planet from pole to pole in a matter of minutes before the contrail.
We look like that painting of the farmer and his wife. American... I forget what it's called. American something. Look forward. Good job. Well, hell yeah, dudes. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'd say probably, but I keep hearing stuff about it. I know that Peter Thiel is definitely down there doing something bad. Oh, it was already up. Come here, Lolly. Come sing with me and say goodbye to the people. Oh, shit. Come here, Lollipopper. She went. She ran away. She didn't want to say goodbye. Dude, they are not fooling anyone. We know their truths. We know your Antarctic truths. Synthara knows. We know. We're pissed about it too. Synthara just keeps talking about the shadows. That they're all a bunch of shadow creatures hiding their shadows and that their shadows are gonna be coming to light. But hell yeah, thanks dudes. Goodbye, Nancies. We see you. McMurdo Station. We don't fuck with you. Goodbye, Nancies. Why are we going so slow? We like faster. We're going right now. Yo! Hell yeah, dudes. This is it. We gotta go through the bee-hole, baby. We gotta go through that bee-hole, baby, yeah. What's going through the hole? Yeah. I gotta punch God right in the face. I've gotta go. He said, I see the Tesla howitzer crossing Antarctica. And I said, hold on slow. I must be alone. I must be true, baby. Oh my goodness. Oh, won't you listen to me? I think this is the black cube, baby. I've seen it all before. Peter. See, dude, what's the screen? The hopes and dreams are lying on the ground. Bye-bye. My little Knitwitches. He said, fuck Peter Thiel into the sun. And I said, Peter Thiel, we're coming for ya. We heard Max's call, we're coming. You a bitch. Oh, won't you listen to me? You should fall in a hole and never come out. You should fall in the water and hopefully drown. You should fall down the flight of stairs just like your boyfriend, Eric, and whatever his name was. You are a fucking jerk. Why do you grow up and want to be a Nazi jerk? Come on, Eric. Or come on, Peter. Look, you're melting all the ice, bro. Seriously, look at this shit. We don't fuck with you. Goodbye, Knitwitches. Dude, look, this was all ice before. Nancies. Come on, come on. See, look, that was all ice and now it's melted. Goodbye, Nancies. You see that? That's fucked up. We don't fuck with Peter Thiel. But yeah, dudes. Whoa. I didn't mean to stop it. I fucked the vibes up there. Bye, Nancy. We don't fuck with you. No, we don't. Little Nancy's, Peter Thiel, and Elon Musk. We don't fuck with you. Peter Thiel is a freaking jerk. Yes, he is. We don't fuck with you. Goodbye, Nancies. We don't want to burn on the earth. Guys, seriously, do you see how fucked this is? Look, it's all melted now. Ooh. Goodbye, Peter Thiel. Mr. Beast, we're coming for you too, baby. You're done. You're cooked. Everyone is. You're all done. We've got you. We heard Max's call. We are here. We are picking up the pieces. Bye, Peter. Why don't you go and get a hug? We love you, so give us a hug and stop trying to vaporize us. 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 Dude, Peter Thiel, you could be a Knitwitch if you stop doing death and destruction to everyone, okay? You understand that? We'll let you be in the club if you follow, you got about 10 years of detention first, and then you can join. But we love even you, Peter Thiel, you little jerk. But, alright, nighty-night, Knitwitchies. I appreciate you guys. But, ta-ta. See you later. See you probably tomorrow. Okay. We'll see how I feel tomorrow, but probably. Okay, good night.